Today on Pitbike Mods, I'm going to show you what bars and cables work on a 2019 KLX110L. So at the moment I'm running the Pro Taper SE XR50 bars on my KLX, and I'm also running the Pro Circuit top clamp, which does raise the bars up an inch, maybe 2 inches. So I'm going to try out the Pro Taper SE KLX bend, which does lower the bars quite a bit. I'll put the specs up there to show you what's the height difference, but I'll compare the stock bars, the KLX110 bars, and the XR50 bars. So all this works with the TTRs, the CRFs. They're all pretty similar, but I'll show you on KLXs, the L and the non-L, what cables work, how to route them, the electrical system for the electric start, everything like that. A lot of people have questions. No one knows the answers apparently, but it's pretty straightforward. I'll show you how everything works, how to route them, what you need to upgrade, what you don't, and we'll go from there. Before I take off the XR50 bars, I'm going to show you what needed upgrading with the Pro Circuit top clamp. So I had to upgrade the front brake cable. The stock one was a little bit too short. It did work, but it is better to upgrade to a longer front brake cable. Everything else is stock. The clutch cable stock, the throttle cable stock. All I did was I rerouted the cables. Another thing on this side, the electrical system. These are all the stock cabling. The only thing I did, two things I did actually. I took the cables out of this bracket for the knot in there because the bars wouldn't be able to turn. And there's these two clips. They'll switch the other way around when it comes from stock, from factory. So I'll switch those because the electric start button is a little bit longer than the clutch cable button, but a lot of people change out the clutch perch to their own aftermarket one, so you don't need that extra cable. But I changed those, that worked, and I'll show you on the other side how I rerouted the throttle cable and the clutch cable. So on this side of the bike, all I had to do with the throttle cable and clutch cable, I had to reroute them above the carburetor. The clutch cable used to go below the carburetor, and I had to reroute it above it to give it extra length. It went through the forks as how you can see it now, but with the throttle cable, I had to take it out of the forks and behind it, and it works normal. I had to do that with the Pro Circuit top clamp and the stock clamp. With the stock clamp and XR50 bars, you don't have to upgrade anything. You can just do everything I just did, reroute the cables, move the electrical cables, and that's it. The XR50 bars will work on stock clamps. With the Pro Circuit clamp, all I had to upgrade was the front brake cable because the stock one was a little bit too short. You can still run it, but it rubbed up against the front number plate and it damaged it a little. So I recommend doing those things with the stock clamp and the Pro Circuit with the XR50 bars. So I'm going to show you the differences between the bends, the heights, and what bars you should be getting for your KLX, CRF or TTR. So these are the stock bars off the KLX when I bought it. These are the Pro Taper KLX and DRZ 110 bend. So if you want to run stock clamps and the Pro Taper bars, to show you that the KLX bend isn't going to give you height. It's just going to give you the bars wider and the actual bend different. If you want height, you can run these and the Pro Circuit clamp that I'm running at the moment. That's what we're going to try out. Or if you're running stock clamps, run the XR50 bend. This will give you height and more width. Big difference in height, and the width is quite big as well. But at the moment, how I'm feeling, I feel like the XR50 bend with the Pro Circuit clamp is a bit too tall, so that's why I'm going to go KLX bend instead of the KLX bend with the Pro Circuit clamp. So I'm thinking that the height of XR50 bars with stock clamps and the height with KLX bars and Pro Circuit clamp will give me the same height. So you can see the difference there. It's a bit of a different, I think it's around 30 or 40 mil. I'll put up the specs from Pro Taper. And the Pro Circuit clamp gives you an extra inch, so I'm guessing it'll give us the same height with XR50 bars and stock clamps with the KLX and Pro Circuit clamps. So let's put the KLX110 bars on the bike and let's see how they fit. When you put the bars on, put them how you like, tilted forwards or backwards. I like them having straight with the forks, a little bit rolled back. When you tighten up the bolts, do them in a cross pattern because you want even amount of pressure on all 4 bolts. After that's done, you can start putting all your controls on, leave them a bit loose and then we'll adjust them from there. When you tighten up your throttle, make sure the throttle tube is not up against the bar or you'll get stuck. So make sure there's enough distance and the throttle should be able to snap back. I was able to pull off the grip from the XR50 bars. The grip's still good, it hasn't torn or anything. It's nearly brand new, it's only a couple of rides old. But I'll show you a technique how to stick your grips onto your bars without using grip glue. I use clear coat spray paint. So clear coat spray paint acts like a glue. So you just spray it into the grip, put it on and let it sit for a bit and it sticks like glue. So we'll just put them on and then we'll put some safety wire on. Just move it around in there. It goes all over the grip. And it also acts like a lubricant when putting it on to the bars. Put it on there, line up the waffle if you run half waffle. Now let's put some safety wire on. So I've got some safety wire and safety wire pliers. So all you do, I put one at the front, wrap it around twice, make sure it's lined up nice and neat. Do a couple of twists, then get the safety wire pliers, put them in, lock them, and you can twist the wire on. Depends how thick the gauge of the wire, might snap easily, but it's up to what you buy. Try to go as close as possible. Do a couple of twists by hand, unlock it. Cut them. And make sure to push it in into the grip so it doesn't cut you. Make sure, have a feel, see how it is, and there you go. Make sure you push it into the grip. You don't want to rip your gloves or rip your hand. It's only there for hold the grip on and not tear. Now let's put the rest of the controls on. Plug in the cables. Make sure you put them in the right spot. And we're gonna mount the kill switch on, but first, I've seen a lot of riders cut the insert of this, which is on the stock bars as a whole, for this to go in. I like to drill that hole because when you cut that off, this just keeps on spinning, because the whole reason is for that to hold onto the bars so it doesn't spin. So a lot of riders do that, and I see them, they're all over the place, they're all spinning. You don't want that. You want it to look OEM, look stock. So we're gonna mount this up. I put some masking tape, mark it where I want to drill, and then we'll drill it and we can mount it up. So I put some masking tape where the mount's going to be. So we're going to squeeze this on where we like it, and it's going to leave an indent, and then we can drill from there. So now we just tighten it up a bit where it leaves an indent. A little bit at the top, a little bit at the bottom. Now let's loosen it, take it off, and you should be able to see an indent in the masking tape. Or we can drill a hole. There you have it. First, I'm going to try using a 5mm drill bit. The last, it should be 5.5mm. there you have it. Now let's clean it up and put everything on. There you have it, doesn't spin. So we're going to talk everything to spec, but first I'm going to take off the stock bar pad because I'm going to be putting on the green Pro Taper bar pad. Clamp bolts to 18 foot-pounds. The 8-inch one, and they have a 10-inch one. So the 8-inch one is the smallest they have in a green one. So we'll put this on, should fit. It's going to be a bit tight compared to the stock one, but it does fit. Other people have run it. Should be good to go. There you go. The KLX bend from per taper is all bolted up, fits really good, all the cables work just like the XR50 bars worked on the Pro Circuit clamps and stock clamps. So there you have it. Like, people say you need to upgrade cables, you need to change cables, you need to lengthen them. You don't. All you need to change is the front brake cable and reroute throttle cable and clutch cable, and there you go. Bars fit without a problem. So pick yourself up a set of XR50 or KLX bend for your pit bike today.